Well, mate, it's not that I'm necessarily, hung up on Smart Ciccolina bloodline horses. Do I like the Smart Ciccolina bloodline of horses? Yes. As a good rule of thumb, and again, doesn't matter what bloodline you're talking about, Shining Spark, Smart Ciccolina, Highbrow Cat, Pepto-Bismol, any of the popular, quarter horse bloodlines, there's good and bad in every bloodline. There's some really good Smart Ciccolina horses, and then there's some dogs out there that I promise you that I wouldn't even want to ride in a million years, okay? But as a good general rule, the reason why I like the Smart Ciccolina bloodline horses is, one, they're usually very soft and supple kind of horses, meaning that every horse has its own natural kind of tendency to be soft and supple, okay? And some horses are easy to keep soft and supple, some are not easy to keep soft and supple, but the Smart Ciccolina horses, as a good rule of thumb, are relatively supple type horses. Like, for example, Great Pine horses. Great Pine bloodlines were real popular as reining horses, 20, 30 years ago. And these horses could really drag their ass on the ground. They could stop big, and they were real good stopping horses. But, oh my goodness, try to get Great Pine horses to give their face and get them to be soft and supple. It was like getting on a friggin' rhinoceros and trying to get some bitch to flex. I mean, they're just stiff. Now, could you get Great Pine horses to get soft and supple? Sure you could. But man, did you have to work your ass off on it? Absolutely. And did they take a lot more maintenance? Absolutely. Okay. So that's why, as a good rule of thumb, the Smart Ciccolina horses will do the reining, they'll do the cutting, they'll do the cow horse. To me personally, I think Smart Ciccolina was the greatest sire that the quarter horse industry has seen in the performance industry, because he could sire cow horses, he could sire reining horses, he could sire cutting horses. Very few horses can sire across three disciplines. Obviously, Smart Ciccolina was known more for the reining and cow horse and not as much in the cutting, but believe me, if they went the cutting direction more, they could have been very competitive horses. They were to a point, but they just were, they weren't as popular as, say, the Highbrow Cats and Pepto-Bismols, because everybody's very cliquey on what's in their sport. Pepto-Bismol horses, they can be nice horses. As a good rule of thumb, I've found over the years, they can be a little stiff in the face. They can be a little numb-sided. What do I mean by numb-sided? Just not real, just kind of dumb on your leg. Like, they're not real, okay, they're not sensitive. Let's just say that. You kind of have to kick the shit out of them to make them kind of respect your leg and get off it. Not all of them, again. So when I'm giving generalities here, if you've got a Pepto-Bismol, do not send me a nasty friggin' email. It says, my friggin' Pepto-Bismol is the most sensitive filly in the world, and I take highly offense to you saying that Pepto-Bismols are lazy horses. I'm not saying that. I'm just giving you general guidelines of what I've experienced with these horses. So Pepto-Bismol horses are fine, but you got to get them out of more of a hotter mare. You wouldn't want to cross Pepto bloodline on a mare that's real kind of quiet and dumb and lazy, because you'll get real dumb, stiff, lazy kind of horse. He crosses better on the real hot-blooded horses. Highbrow Cat horses, he's obviously a phenomenal sire. I've had many of them over the years. They're very trainable horses. They're very quiet horses. They're very forgiving horses. In fact, that's why I think a lot of them have done so well, is that when you get a good highbrow cat horse, let me just be a little more blunt about it, a friggin' monkey can train it, okay? They're just smart horses, but they're very forgiving horses. If you jerk on them too hard or spur one accidentally, or you screw up as a trainer, they don't hold a grudge. They're like, everybody has a bad day, and they get on with their job. So they're very trainable kind of horses, highbrow cat type of horses, okay? As far as buying a signature horse, bottom line is, I tell people this all the time, remember, there's only three ways to get a well-trained horse. You buy it trained, or you pay somebody else to train it, or you train it yourself. They're the only three ways. So if you don't have time to train it, or you don't have the knowledge to train it, you better go buy one trained or send it to somebody else, okay? Will our signature horses make sorting horses? Sure, they will. Are they going to be like really, really nationally competitive sorting horses? No, because they're not trained to do that. The signature horses are what we call good all-round soldiers. They're trail horses. They're little open show horses. They're horses you can take in the parade. They're horses you can put your grandchildren on when they come over to see grandma and they haven't been ridden in 3 months. They're old souls, okay? They're not dummies, but they're just broke horses that will take care of their owners and the people that ride them. I hope that helps you, mate.